Hey, what's up? So, a little bit different today, as you'll obviously notice. We don't have Optray up on here, but today I'll be teaching you how to make essentially live stream cameras. So, I have an old SCP op pulled up that had the had a camera system inside of it. And what we're going to be doing is I'm going to first load into the game, show you what the monitors look like for these cameras. And then I'm going to show you how to make them. If I can remember how to open this damn door. Like that. Easy peasy. So we're going to go down here into this little underground bunker I made. And this is a few years old at this point. I want to say probably 23 is when this was ran. So we'll come in here. And what you have here is you have a UAV feed of an airbase that the players were based at. And then you have a feed of a bridge, and then you have two helmet cams. Now, because we don't have the players here, you can't see the helmet cams in their full glory. But the way it would work is the players would come into this abandoned control room, come in, and they would notice that two of the people inside of their groups had helmet cams on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to back out. I'm going to show you the code that you need for these. And yeah, let's get to it. So, setting this up, helmet cam 1, and then helmet cam 3. Now, you'll notice that with the UAV, we had to put in code for this. For these, you don't have to. All of this goes into the initialization line, which you can find under general. And then opening this up, you have cam equals cameraCreate 000, cameraEffect internal, back UAV RTT. And now you'll notice that every helmet cam has these variables and then head. So what this does is this marks it as starting at the head of the character, and then these variables offset it so you don't get the individual's head in the camera feed, so it looks like a real life helmet cam. It's pretty simple, but it's you gotta also stream it to a monitor. So moving on to the monitor itself. Now it's gonna be a little finicky going in here because I had to use deformer to deform this area, or not. Perfect. Don't have to re-record this section. So you'll notice that in these it's blank. So what we do is we go in here and you'll notice that all of these are unlabeled. This is because they don't need to be. No variable names, but they do have code attached. So to get a RTT up, which I'm assuming means real-time texture, it's basically the live stream itself. And you'll notice that every camera has camera 3 RTT, right? Or like UAV RTT. But to put it to a monitor, you'll write this setObjectTexture 0, and then argb 512 R2T, and then your camera, and then 1. And then you'll notice going to the helmet cams, we then change this variable to helmet cam 1, and then helmet cam 3. And then for the briefing screen, it would be UAV RTT for the UAV texture. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to transition this to the Optray version of this to kind of show you how you might implement it in another way than how I did for this control system. Like, say you want it on a monitor and a control or in a command room. So now that we're on Optray, which for my boys in the unit, this is your home turf. We're going to go through some of these just so you can see. Now, I do not have the original assets I used to display the helmet cams, but you may notice UAV 3G in here. I do not believe any of these are set up to be UAV 3G, but that's okay. We won't be using it. So with that said, to replace these, we now have to make new objects. So what we'll do is we will go into our general, make sure that everything is initialized in here, I clicked the wrong thing. So you'll notice that much of my code is the same. Actually, all of my code is the same because if you can, you want to reuse code. It makes it easy on you, and you don't have to sit there scratching your head. And if you want to write it yourself, you can. Something I did forget to notice did forget to note in the first part of this video, though, is picture in picture. So the way it works is that if somebody does not have picture in picture enabled in their Arma 3 settings, they will not be able to see this. And there's a little bit of a complication with Zeus too that I'll go over when we look at everything, but we'll get to all of that later. But so what we're going to do right now is we're going to set helmet cam 1 up, which is going to route to, I want to say this monitor. So it should go right to left, right? It's a bit weird. I don't know why it's 132, but let's go ahead and kind of copy the original scenario. So we have, say we have ODSTs moving through this jungle. A little scout team. So we'll have this one be HC1. This one will be HC2. And this one will be HC3. And we can add more. We can, you can add as many monitors as you want as long as you copy that texture. Let's get out of night vision. So with that now in there, let's go ahead and verify because, you know, everyone's got to double check, make sure everything's set up right. So we do have HC1, 2, and 3 set up in there. So let's have them maneuver over to, forgot to hold shift, maneuver over to here. And let's say here there are going to be some mercenaries that are going to ambush them. Actually, you know what? Let's do one better. Let's do Web Knight's Covenant. So let's put a hunter in here. Fucking hard to miss. And they're also already in plain sight of them. So let's have it be more like this. And let's put an elite zealot over here. And then we'll put, actually, we'll just use those two. So now, going back to the Ragnarok, which is our ship. So going back to the Ragnarok, we will go back to the CIC here, and I'll go ahead and place down just a standard, we'll just do a policeman from TKE. Say hi to Cade while you're here, and then we're going to put this guy in here. So now that we're back in here, you'll notice that the ODST team is getting ambushed. So that one just got a shit laid out. But in this instance, you could have it where members come into the CIC, we're given the briefing, and someone goes, now reference this video, or however the Zeus wants to explain it, and they'll say, hey, so we don't know what's going on, but the base that we're about to reinforce put out video of one of their patrols getting ambushed by Covenant forces. And then it comes into here, or it goes into here, and either the members are still alive, which it would have been in the case that I originally recorded in, where it showed the patrol footage and them getting ambushed, but here they got ambushed really quickly. And then it would have the Covenant on screen in various ways. So I want to say in the original footage, it was like the hunter standing over the corpses. Right here, we have the zealot doing it. But yeah, so that's how you set one up. But not every texture will stream perfectly. On a lot of the Arma objects, it will. Or a lot of the base Arma objects, it will. But let's try putting it up on the giant board for our CIC. And there is a reason why it is on these smaller base Arma monitors. So now that we're back in here, we'll go ahead, we'll do this. We'll take Helmet Cam 1 and we'll stream it to this screen here. Now, coming back to the CIC, you can notice that that footage still looks fine, but over here it's incredibly zoomed in and you're not getting a full picture of what's happening. Now, it looks good, but unfortunately, this is more designed for if you have a incredibly zoomed out UAV feed. You could put it on here perfectly fine. But if you want to do helmet cams, kind of like we're doing, and even then it's a little bit wonky when they're all moving around, your best bet is to do this. Oh, that guy's dead. But another complication that comes from this that I'll show you in a second is Zeus. So, becoming Zeus is awesome, right? The guy running the op is the Zeus, unless he made the op and then someone else is Zeusing. But I'm kind of surprised this guy's not dead. Not to get to... I just had to say something. But when you go into Zeus, what it does is you have like the normal cam. But when you leave it, you'll notice the picture-in-picture goes away. And this is because, leaving Zeus, I don't know the exact reason, but it just resets your picture-in-picture. So what I always keep handy, funny enough, is my initialization code in here. So what I'll do is I'll go into Zeus, and it's going to be a bit wonky. This is mainly if you want to watch it alongside your players. Because, we do a lot of pre-op setup in Zeus. So what we'll do is we'll type in execute code. Either one of these modules works. I mainly use Achilles. And then I'll use the other module. Yeah, there we go. Because it saves it. But so what we'll do is we'll set this to global and join in progress. And then, like I said, it's a bit wonky, but you'll get most of the picture-in-picture back. But just know if you exit Zeus, it does reset. So, a bit of a complication, but hey, that's how you do it. By the way, not real-time texture, render to texture is what it's called, which is the R2T, and then I'm assuming RTT is also render to texture. But, yeah, I look forward, as always, to seeing what you guys do with this. It's not the best tutorial, but it's it's something, right? So, yeah, have a great day, guys.